Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Whoa, it is definitely a lot earlier than usual. I'm a little slippy, but that doesn't mean we can't prepare for inflation data coming out. Inflation data comes out in about 7 minutes. They're usually right on time. So we've got the Bloomberg terminal here. We'll be able to watch this. We'll see CNBC probably talk about it. We'll see who talks about it first. And I've also got the BLS website up as well. But let's take a look at the pre-market. May as well. GameStop up again, basically heading right up to $300 because why not? We hit a high at GameStop of $296 in the pre-market. Right now we are at 276. AMC up 7% again today at 11.29. Riot, EXPI up also. EXPI up 4.6%. We got CIIC up 4.5%. Blink, Nano Dimension, Gevo, Sundial, Ideanomics, all these guys up as well. Let's go to all stocks here. Let's make sure we get them all. What else? Cost is up half basically today. That's incredible. Up 48%. Let's go to the 5-minute here. All of a sudden, just a big explosion here on cost. Tattooed Chef reports earnings today, up 6.7%. A lot of enthusiasm for this stock. Their analytic data has been going up, and away. Microvision, we'll see if that translates to sales. Microvision up also today. I really got to make sure I turn that off because that's happening too much. Let's see. Fisker up 4% again today. Remember, this one had a big run, over the last few weeks. And at $23, it is pretty dang cheap relative to where it was in those runs when it went up well over $30. Nicola's up. Xpeng's up, Enphase up 2.6, Reddit. I'm sorry, why do I do that? Redfin is up, Neo, Bumble, Hyliion, SunPower, CRISPR, all these guys up about 2.5%. Matterport a tiny little bit. Tesla's up about 1%, sitting at 679. So we got a pretty green day here. Let's see what's losing in the pre-market. Looks like FRX pulling back a little bit. Tuscan Holdings, Nordstrom, Carnival. So we've got really maybe some of the recovery stocks again here. Although you do have Peloton, Intel, and Apple in here, and Dropbox and API. So a little bit of a mixed day. But then again, the guys that are down over here, we're talking 0.5%, CCIV 0.5%, Etsy, Wayfair 0.2% here. So I wouldn't say any massive movers here, with the exception of course, GameStop, Express, and Cost. These guys are the big movers. Tilray, though. Sorry, excuse me. Cannabis here, Tilray moving again. Cannabis ETF moving also. But Tilray moving substantially at about almost 12%. Nice rally here. So, okay, what are we looking for? So right now we are looking for what's going to happen with inflation data. So let's talk about this. CPI data is obviously a specific measure of inflation. It does not measure everything. One of the things that it does is it determines how a basket of goods changes in price over 1 year. So it takes one specific basket of exactly the same products every single year and compares the price difference. So it's kind of like if you took a shopping cart through Costco and you bought Kirkland toothpaste and Kirkland, apples, Granny Smith apples, very, very specific, and whole wheat bread, along with other things as well. Those items would be measured, a year ago, and then they'll be measured in a month, and a month, and a month, and then we compare. And that's sort of the data release that we're expecting to come out today. So this is kind of where we'll get an update on this, just sort of on the BLS website. Suppose in the meantime, while we wait for that in the next 3 minutes, we could also take a quick listen in because ROBLOX is going public today. So let's jump on
the listing today. Let's talk about the story, though, and what happens to this company in a post-pandemic world. You've had incredible growth. This was a company that's valued at just $4 billion basically a year ago, now worth $30 billion. The revenue has also been on fire, but of course, losses pile up at the same time. Tell us how you're thinking about what this this company even looks like a year from now, given how unique this past 12 and 18-month period has been.
Hey, first, Andrew, thanks for having us on the show. And what a great day for the ROBLOX community as well. We know a lot are watching us. We're just so grateful to be here, and we appreciate it. We hope COVID ends as soon as possible. We want to get back.
Hurry up, Mr. Roblox. We got CPI coming out in 2 minutes. You're going to get cut off.
Driven by the awesome content, driven by our creators, and driven by the ability for people to do things together. That's a long-term growth path, and we believe that continues forward even after COVID.
So what do you think the user growth looks like, let's say a year or two out from now? And let's also talk about monetization over that period, because one of the things that I think you've said in the prospectus itself is that one of the risks is that in a post-pandemic world, you're not sure you're going to make as much money.
Yeah, so first off, our users have been growing virally, as I said, and what's really exciting is
so we got about 90 seconds to go here. Some of the popular games here: Adopt Me, Jailbreak, Meep City, Murder Mystery 2, Natural Disaster Survival, Piggy, Royal High, Bloxburg, Pizza Place. Yeah, those are some of the popular ones.
About the growth. And on the monetization, what's really exciting about ROBLOX is it's free for most people, but people who want to and who are interested can use our virtual economy. That virtual economy has also been scaling with our user and engagement growth, and we're very optimistic about it.
And in terms of developers, and full disclosure, my son, who's 10 years old, is developing on your platform right now, and he's trying to make some Robux constantly. We have debates about that. By the way, I should say, he thinks that because of this offering, you should be giving out Robux, extra Robux to all the developers as part of it. We were talking about how Airbnb.
All right, we got inflation data now 30 seconds away.
Suggestion, I'm supposed to tell you that. But David, the question.
Expectations, by the way, we do think that, this is month over month inflation, year over year. I don't think we're going to see anything surprising. I think we'll have a little bit more of a surprise, next month, although we're already expecting inflation to come in high year over year. All right, so let's see if they're on the dot or when they will post. All right, so let's see, a lot of things just posted on the dot here. Oh, yep, there it is. Wow, that is fast. Okay, hold on. Jeez. Okay, here we go. U.S. consumer prices rose 0.1% versus the previous month. That's nothing. It actually came in less than expected, lower inflation than expected month over month. That's crazy regarding CPI. Wow, that's crazy. Consumer price, geez, it's moving so fast. I can barely hold this. Consumer prices rise to 2.63 versus 2.62. That's crazy. Core prices rise 1.3% year over year versus the estimate of 1.4%. Consumer prices rise 0.1% versus the estimate of 0.2%. Consumer prices 0.4% versus the consensus of 0.4%. Energy prices 3.9%. That's a lot. And food prices up 0.2%. So energy prices move a lot. Real average weekly earnings, it's moving so fast. This is ridiculous. Negative 0.1%. And they're still not talking about it on CNBC. So we'll jump to them in a moment. It's running so fast. This is crazy. Okay, I'll pull up the actual document in a moment here. Wait, why is this one saying 0.4% month over month? Okay, so see, I'm not losing my mind. It totally just said 0.1% versus 0.4 estimate. Here we go. But now they're saying 0.4.
Is it something very different?
This is in a good way, this is an exciting thing to try to comp in that we're in a whole new category. We sometimes call it the human co-experience category. Some people.
Well, I wonder what the 0.1% was, because we totally saw that on Bloomberg.
It's a unique category because it allows people to come together even when they're not together in real life.
Okay, hold on. Let's just go straight to the document here. So this is the feed, how it comes out. Okay, so seasonally adjusted basis after rising 0.3% in January, so 0.4%. So where did they get the 0.1%? Let's see here. The gasoline index continued to increase, rising 6.4% in February and accounting for over half of the seasonally adjusted increase in all items in the index. Electricity and natural gas also increased, rising 3.9% over the month. Food index rose 0.2%. Obviously, big jump there in energy. The index for all items less food and energy. There we go. Okay, so it's all items less food and energy. That was 0.1%. And the estimate for that was 0.2%. So outside of food and energy, we had less inflation than expected. But because of food and energy really going up the most, that's where we saw that 0.4% month over month increase. All items in the index rose 1.7% for 12 months ending February. My estimate yesterday was 1.9%, a larger increase than the 1.4% reported for the period ending in January. The index for all items less food and energy rose 1.3% over the last 12 months, a smaller increase than the 1.4% rise for the 12 months ending in January. The food index rose 3.6%, while the energy index rose 2.4% over that period. So bigger month-to-month move in energy, possibly because of Texas, and smaller food increase. Let's listen to CNBC and then look at the tickers.
7, we have automated computer systems. We want to be the best in the world on this to make Roblox this awesome, safe, and civil.
They just keep jumping back to Roblox, which is fair. I mean, the data is what it is. But let's see if we're seeing anything really here in the pre-market. I mean, GameStop's at 12%. I don't know if do we see a reaction here? Yeah, Virgin Galactic bumped on this. Look at this. Virgin Galactic's at 6.5% here. Microvision kind of, this data has been out for about these last 4 candlesticks here. So we actually did get a bump in some of the stocks here, just the last 4 candlesticks. AMC, not so much. Let's see. GameStop didn't really benefit from that. Wow, Plug really benefited from this. In the last 4 minutes, some big candlesticks at Plug after this. We've got the cannabis ETF. Cannabis ETF also, no, cannabis ETF, barely. So what about like Tesla? Let's see. So yeah, look at Tesla's move. Tesla right here. You've got a big move up here on this data. I mean, we moved from 677, about 10 points up, to 687. The inflation data was good. It was good. It wasn't as high as expected. You almost can kind of anticipate Texas and the energy issue, so that's not a surprise. Wow, inflation data pushed. We got Square moving from 227 to about 229, so not too terribly much of a move here. Shift, hard to tell if they really moved on that. Workhorse moved on that. ARC moved on that. Wow, look at CCIV on the inflation data here. CCIV and possibly those energy prices could be driving people to maybe there's the belief that, oh my gosh, if inflation does well, maybe people want to get into electric vehicles because inflation overall is doing okay, but energy prices are going up. We do have Bitcoin that jumped on this, which is really interesting because I don't think we really, I mean, this is actually kind of following some of my expectations that we're going to see this year over year data of inflation go up. And I wouldn't be surprised if next month Bitcoin just skyrockets when people are like, oh my gosh, inflation's like what? 2.6% year over year. And then the next month after that, it's going to be like 3.2% or maybe even 3.5%. I think inflation's going to have a field day, on the year over year data, or sorry, for Bitcoin purposes. But yeah, let's go back here to the sticks. A really, really positive movement here from inflation data on the sticks. I mean, we've got Pinterest heading over, approximately heading over 70. Okay, now they're going to talk about it.
Now everything's up. What happened? Well, is the inflation data, the most sought after data, probably at this point in time. So every market's going to make an adjustment. I'm not sure that there's direct correlation with what you're speaking of, but 1.9 trillion, how much of that is built in? It's probably going to pass. I enjoyed Mr. Poitman today. Let's go through the data, shall we? Up 0.4 on headline, pretty much as expected. Follows up 0.3. Joe, June and July were up 0.5. You'd have to go all the way to 2012 to find a number higher at 0.6. If we look at ex-food and energy, it drops down to 0.1. And the year over year, 1.7. Strip out food and energy, 1.3. These numbers are rather tame. That's why you see interest rates on the 10s at 154. And if you look at real weekly earnings, real average earnings year over year for February, they moved from 4.1, but they were at 5.7, sequentially lower. And if you look at year over year on the hourly side, 3.4, which actually is a bit lower than 3.9, but both have suffered a bit. Listen, we could summarize inflation in the following fashion. Whether it's coming or whether it isn't coming, the real issue is, will it be reflected in rates? And I doubt that Jay Powell and company have gone through what they've gone through to not ramp up QE should interest rates reflect the true risk-reward profile. Back to you.
So you're looking at the NASDAQ chart, Rick. You don't think that had anything to do with what happened at 8:30? Really?
Yeah. So take a look. We definitely saw a move there right at 8:30. So this is what after those CPI data came out. This is sort of what the bond, the 10-year did. The 10-year was around 1.56, and it fell all the way down to 1.53 for a split second, and now it's about 1.55. So a little bit of a net decline here. Yeah, I mean, he basically said the same thing that I already broke down like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I mean, look, inflation came in lower than expected. Energy prices shot up, but it was no surprise that energy prices shot up because of the madness that happened in Texas. And it's interesting to see how some of these stocks are responding. If you go to 8:30, you actually see Tilray kind of slow down its run here, but it really seems like tech and the energy stocks are the ones that did really well. I mean, look at Blink. Blink shot up from 35. I thought it shot up about $1. Tech, let's see more tech. Gevo shot up. Nano Dimension shot up, but it's also giving back a little bit now. Plug Power shot up, giving back a little now. So you kind of see that adjustment. Look at Enphase. Just since the announcement right around here-ish, also shot up nicely. Enphase now up over 5%. So really, all of tech is cheering this right now. Tesla up, stabilizing here around 687. Pinterest skyrocketing. Matterport, Open Door. Yeah. Overall, this inflation information is being cheered by the market. So this is positive news. Now we do have a treasury bond auction later today. If it's anything like what happened yesterday, it's not going to matter, and the rally could continue. And if we don't get a miserable auction today, then I think weak yields could certainly stabilize. I don't know that we need them to fall, but we could actually see tech rally even more. There is a lot of belief that yesterday's rally is the suckers rally. It's the bull trap. Well, we're about to find out. I mean, look at wow, big move here from what 206, not huge, 206 to 210 on Etsy after that inflation data. Good news, and it reiterates that we're not expecting massive inflation. Tesla again, tricking up, or Palantir moving up, Redfin stable, Neo moving up on that news as well. Neo going up from about 42, about 50 cents a Neo. But certainly you could definitely see tech and those that have been selling off are cheering this inflation data. Once again, we'll look at we'll take another peek here just at the actual sheet one more time. So again, CPI increased 0.4% in Feb. Seasonally adjusted basis after rising 0.3% in January. So that's month to month. Remember, that's month to month. It's kind of like, the pricing changes at the amazing courses I have linked down below. Not the easiest transition, but remember to get 38% off with coupon code HODL, which expires in 5 days on the amazing programs on building your wealth. But anyway, continuing on here. So, a little bit higher than what we had in January. We expect that kind of I mean, really, it'll be interesting to see what the transition is between Feb and March, and then March and April on month to month. That's going to be much more important than the annualized rate, because the annual rate's going to go nuts next month. It's going to be well over 2%, and then we'll go well over 3%, and then that'll tame back down. Bitcoin at 56,000. And yeah, the gasoline index accounted for over half of the seasonally adjusted increase in all items of the index. Electricity and natural gas indexes also increased, or indices, and the energy index rose 3.9% over the month. It's such a big move just in energy. And that's why we saw, if we take out food and energy, you didn't see it. You just didn't see the inflation. And you know, this includes, you know, just some examples here: shelter, recreation, medical care, vehicle insurance, airline fares, used cars, trucks, apparel. The airlines, used cars, trucks, apparel all declined in February. This is, by the way, where Jerome Powell thinks that we might actually see some short-term inflation when we get back out into the world and the economy, because maybe apparel will skyrocket. Maybe airline fares will skyrocket. We'll see. There was talk on, I'm pretty sure on either Bloomberg or CNBC yesterday, about how full airplanes were, yet airline inflation actually declined. Actually, a deflation in airline pricing. So we'll see. Very, very interesting in terms of inflation. Yeah, and you're right. You know, regarding this energy spike coming from Texas, if that gets reversed next month, you know, maybe we'll see some spikes and other things. But this is not scary. You know, there was nothing scary in this. This is this is right along expectations. I think the Fed is going to be very happy about what they're seeing here. Certainly, the stock market is very happy about what they're seeing here. This does not send any kind of concern signals that the market needs to be worried about the Fed responding differently to their inflation strategy. I think the market's very bullish on what we saw here, certainly with Enphase rallying right after this. We got NGA. Let's see, NGA. Hard to tell. They don't report every minute here. Redfin. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'd say overall very optimistic. So I'll be in Discord if anybody wants to chat. And hey, we will see you later for Market Open. All right. Thanks, everyone. Check out that coupon code down below. And folks, see you in the next